Okay, hello everyone, good afternoon. It is now time for the webinar on the challenges of internationalization, and this project is provided for you by the Business Tampere and Talent Tampere. This is now the case Cometa Solutions, where we studied the German market on the digital products. We start by introducing our international talents here.
Hello everyone, my name is Maggie Michinov and I'm originally from Bulgaria. I spent 8 years of my life studying and living in Germany, and then I moved to Tampere in 2017, where soon after I joined the Tampere Ambassador Network at Talent Tampere, because I think that Tampere is really a great place to live with a lot of potential thanks to the many international people living here. Then I moved to Germany and to Berlin, where I started my master's in human factors. All in all, I have worked like 6 years in different German companies, almost 4 years in a really small one, and then later about a year in a bit bigger company. So I kind of have this knowledge about German work culture, and especially in small and middle enterprises. I'm fluent in German and English as well Bulgarian. I'm currently learning Finnish. And my motivation to join the internationalization project was that I want to share my knowledge regarding the German market. Besides me, we were also working together with Husham Yousaf, who has an excellent background in IT and has worked in different domains and also has an MBA in marketing. He helped us a lot with the market research. He's currently in Helsinki, where he started working at Integrify.
Okay, thank you, Maggie. And then Jari Peltonen is my name, and I'm also here. I'm from Cometa Solutions. And we don't have to go further in there because now we have a small video for you about Cometa Solutions. Hello, I'm Jari from Cometa Solutions. I have made software for 30 years. At Cometa, we help our customers to produce more value with less work. We create collaborative digital environments for your individual needs. Cometa Solutions' unique metamodel-based platform leads to an exceptionally fast and economical development of applications. The final applications are generated based on the customer domain model and the specified views to the information. Okay, we are back, and now we can start on the background information of the challenge. So, as I told you in the video, we currently make custom-made solutions for companies, and we build them on top of our metamodel-based platform, where there are a lot of ready-made views, functionalities and components that are basically like mini products already. And we use them to create new products at some point in this year. We have started some testing there and so on, but the challenge is related to this. Basically, the product-based business model will give us benefits, for example, in scaling and branding, and that's why we are advancing on it. When we are making the product, we cannot think only the Finnish market because it is too small for us, or basically for any product where you put some effort in there. And that's why we have to think at least European Union. We were thinking for example, Great Britain also, but because of the Brexit, we decided that maybe German market is more for us at this point. It is by far the lead of the industry at this point in Europe, as well as there is a strong basis for the customers that we think would be our customers. And to avoid the risks, we have to start with something very small, iterate, learning every step, and this is basically what this project is for us. And it has been about learning and small steps. We have been doing a little bit larger preliminary study in there, and this is part of it. And what we think is that or what we thought in the beginning, that we basically want to understand the culture and the situation in digitalization, the understanding of our suggested problems and so on in German market. And that's why we have made some background studies, market studies, and questionnaires, and we will share some insights of those. We cannot state in this webinar what is the actual product or actual customer job or the solution, but as an abstract focus, we can say that, okay, small to medium-sized enterprises in Germany are the target market, and we are talking about digitalization, basically information management, information flow, and collaboration in those companies. So maybe Maggie, you take from here.
Yes, now a few words about the process of how this project went on. We met for the kickoff in September, and ever since we stayed in contact with meeting online almost every week, discussing our results. Our market research was iterative, meaning that again and again we started anew and narrowed the focus on different areas. At the beginning, like the first 2 months were really focused on finding background information that will be useful for understanding the German culture and the current situation in digitalization. We found blog posts, articles, statistics, and other materials that could be useful and that we will list in a later stage in this webinar. We could find different kind of information regarding what SMEs value in our selected focus and what are the current challenges in front of them. Based on my experience working in German companies, I knew that Germans put a lot of value in formal meetings, exhibitions, conferences, and fairs. That's why I also provided Cometa Solutions with a list of possible events where they could generate leads, because I understand that this is one of the ways Germans work and connect with companies. This was the first part of our process, and in the second part we designed a qualitative study in which, through open questions, we wanted to understand better the needs of potential customers in regard of our specified focus. And basically we asked them the question, what frustrates them nowadays? Because also as disruption theory goes on, it is important to know what makes people angry nowadays in order to provide them for the solutions for tomorrow. So the second part of the process was designing the study, finding connections in Germany, asking them personally to fill it out, and then of course evaluating the results and the final presentation.
Okay, then about some of the insights. We have gathered you some material here from the background studies that we found, and there are very valuable links in there if you are going to go to German market or you are considering it. Actually, there are some of the links are such that they are not only for German market. For example, the first one, the Statistikon, there are statistics of well, basically all kinds of things, but for example, this one is the small to medium-sized industry sectors statistics in Germany. And then the next one, the Mittelstands Atlas is basically it means that it is information about small to medium-sized companies in there, and this PDF is rather good. Maggie, you know the rest better than me, so.
In the rest, there are also some publications from the German Ministry for Economy, which offers a lot of insight what is going on, what are also the political plans regarding digitalization and the policy regarding small and middle-sized companies, as well as news from the media, for example, Reuters or the German magazine for economy, Handelsblatt. And also the last link, for example, is also good for everyone interested in internationalization in Europe, because it offers insight about e-commerce, what is going on that field. And the four last article is a bit more about the mindset regarding protection and security in Germany, on which we will go a bit more in detail in the next few minutes.
Okay, and just kind of to point out, for example, the digitalization HTML in there, it is basically a set of really good articles in there. It's not just one page of stuff, but there is a lot of material in there. And the last one, I think you said it already, but for example, we found there the German country report, where there is a lot of information about Germany and the market in there. We cannot go through all the stuff in those articles, and they are there. The links are there for you so that you can study them yourself. But for our study, we have a couple of things that we especially found there. Well, we were thinking that this is true, but we found it also from the articles that in Germany, the small to medium-sized enterprises are actually the country's strongest driver for innovation and technology, and there is a very big sector of small to medium-sized enterprises in Germany. Especially Berlin and Hamburg areas are dominated by knowledge-intensive SMEs. And as the final thing here, the understanding that the German mentality to data protection and data privacy is fundamental in doing any successful business in the country. It's not only about the digital business, but basically you have to understand that they really take it seriously in there. And then if Maggie, you can...
Yes, and also, as I mentioned, we did a qualitative study where I could use my knowledge coming from psychology, how to make it open, and also how to evaluate the results that we find out. What came out from the people who filled it out, it was that they have a strong focus on GDPR, on NDAs, on contractual agreements, encryption, access regulation to data. These were topics mentioned by almost everyone. Even maybe on a side note, it was interesting that even when I contacted people who I personally know, I was immediately asked what is going to happen with the data from that study, what is it for? And I think this is a major point regarding the German market on which you have to be aware. People have hard time to find trust in others, and are very worried about their data and what is happening with it and where it goes, for what is it used, can it be used against them. I see the reason for that also in German's history, especially in East Germany with a lot of surveillance, because many of the participants in our study were coming from Berlin and East Germany. What they also mentioned was frustration with the current EU guidelines, like there is a lot of unclarity how GDPR has to be applied and what are the practical consequences of it. And also, especially a lot of companies who work together with partners outside of the EU have troubles sharing data among them. What I found the most surprising was the lack of trust in customers and also towards their own employees that was mentioned by some of the participants, meaning meaning again that trust is a major part in building good business relationships with Germany. And a lot of people complained about the complicated processes connected with everyday work in the digital sector. So these were our insights from the qualitative study that we did in December.
And maybe you noticed that actually the emphasis was a lot on the trust and the data protection and that kind of things. It came from the background studies, from the material and our qualitative studies, that this is actually, if you are going to do any business in there, you have to take these items seriously. And there was one, I don't remember which one of them, but in one of the articles that we put link in there, there were kind of guidelines for people who, if you are going to bring a product that has something to do with the promise that it helps you in data protection, that what you have to take consideration then, and if you are just doing a digital product what you have to take in consideration in then. So please do check the material in there. Then we have gone actually pretty fast this session here, but as the final note, I would like to thank the talents, Maki and Husham. They have been invaluable. We couldn't have done this study this efficiently without them. And this kind of study is beneficial in many ways. And for us as a small company, it is very valuable to have support in these phases where, well, basically, if we just put a product to German market, it is huge risk to the whole company. So when we can do this kind of small steps and we get support from the business Tampere, it is extremely valuable. We got a lot of new information. We got kind of, if we are or when we are doing this kind of research again, we now know better how to do it, and we know that there are talents that can be used in there. This has been a learning process for us, not only for the information that we gained about the subject, but also on how to actually go to search information on the German market and how to contact people and so on. And we are going to continue work with Maggie and have another project after that in there. And we don't know yet if we are going to go to German market. It is not sure, but when we do more of these studies, we can learn more. We can be more certain on what is the future in there. So thank you for the talents and thank you to Business Tampere.
On my side as well, I want to thank Business Tampere for this opportunity to both use my knowledge and skills and also to learn a bit more about the working culture here in Finland and get to know another company and another work style. That was very valuable for me. I learned a lot through this study. And yeah, thank you Business Tampere for really considering us talent, international people living here in Finland and willing to contribute to this country. Thank you.
I'm not sure if there are any questions in there.
No,
if there might be any questions, I think you can use the chat or questions section in there and we will answer. If not, thank you for participating and let's continue from here.